Hi, welcome to your Pick a Card Tarot reading. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited for today. Today we're going to be discussing how they feel about you. I'm going to use a combination of oracle cards and tarot cards for this reading. Remember, this is a general reading, so not every single message may apply to you and your life, but take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would like a personal reading, you're welcome to book one with me. So there are going to be 4 cards to choose from: Group 1, Group 2, Group 3, and Group 4. I want you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and really focus on the card that you're drawn to. Pick the image that really stands out to you most. I feel like for most of us, it's an intuitive hit, but it's a little different for everyone. So you can pause this video if you need to in order to really tune in to your intuition. And then jump to the timestamp in the description box. This is in regards to your love life, so keep that in mind. It's not about family relationships or friendships. This has to do with romantic connections. You can be single or in a relationship, but I'm still going to use the word relationship when I discuss your connection most likely. Don't forget to comment below with your group and how much this resonated with you, and also subscribe to my channel. Spread the love. I use a variety of oracle decks in my readings, so I do like to shuffle them in between readings. So you may not see me shuffle the oracle decks, but I do shuffle the tarot cards. Just know that I've done that off camera for the sake of this reading. Okay, let's get to it. Welcome, group number 1. Today we're going to talk about how they're feeling about you, and this is in regards to a romantic relationship or a love interest. This is not really going to be focused on platonic relationships or friendships or family relationships or family dynamics. This is really going to be focused on love. So if there's someone you don't really know how they feel about you and you want to know what's going through their mind, through their heart, this is for you. So group number 1, we have the tiger and we have the shapeshifter. Okay. So I'm automatically getting the question, is this real? Is this an illusion? Is what they're saying true? Is it bullshit? I feel like there's a sense of like you don't really know what you are. You don't really know what is what. And there's a lot of magnetism, a lot of passion with the tiger. There's a very sensual aura around your love. It's very sensual, very passionate, very fiery. Ignore my cat. She's very loud. I do feel like this is a time for you to really explore your feelings more in depth with this person. The shapeshifter is giving off like player vibes. Maybe this person isn't a player, but you're not really sure if what they're saying is true or if their feelings are actually reflecting what they're portraying on the outside. The shapeshifter is also known as the trickster. This person might have, misled you, or they have a past of maybe misleading people. Like, it feels like this person is very used to being in situationships, and maybe they haven't really been in a situation where they can take someone seriously or have real feelings for someone. So you're not sure if what you have with them is actually the real deal. And I just feel like you can sense that there's something here. Like there's a strong passion. There's just this deep connection that you guys have, that you share. It's almost like you can't keep your hands off each other. I feel like there's just this intense attraction going on. And with the tiger, it's also, very connected to the moon and the feminine qualities of water. And I just feel like you are on these tidal waves of emotions right now. Oh my gosh, my cat is very loud. 1 second, guys. That was wild because my cat doesn't usually just meow all the time. I feel like she was probably really connecting and confirming to what I'm saying here. So take that as you will. Like if that's something you want to roll with, go for it, because I feel like, Nyx, my cat, is a very tuned in familiar, and she always knows when something I'm saying is really hitting true. I feel like this person has not fully cemented themselves yet. Maybe they're afraid of committing to you. Maybe they're non-committal. We're going to look deeper at where they stand and what they like about you and, you know, how they feel. But right now I'm getting the sense that this is something that you're not sure of. You know, it's not a certain thing. It's not a done deal. There's no ring on your finger. You're wondering, like, where is this going? Is this real? Is what we have true? That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. And I also feel like because this is very feminine energy focused, a lot of this is about attraction. It's not necessarily about you pursuing each other. It's almost like you can't help it but pursue each other. You can't help but, like, you're drawn to each other. I feel an intense drawing, almost like magnets. But you're really not sure if you can trust it. You're not sure if you can trust this to be, you know, your happily ever after, if you can trust this to be the end. I feel like this person is very intense, you know, and it's hard because you want to believe them. You want this to be real. Okay, so we have tarot cards here. Let's see if we can elaborate a little bit. Okay. So we have the Five of Cups reversed. All right, so this gives me some more details into where you're at with them. I do feel like you're in a period of healing with them. I don't see you being necessarily with them, but I feel like it's not over. Like, you're in a period of, like, trying to figure out what to do, what's next. It's almost like you were never fully committed to them. And maybe you felt like you were at some point, but I just feel like there's this nature of change going on, this, like, intense change going on in your lives. And I feel like things are shifting between the two of you. So I feel like this is a time where feelings are actually transforming. Feelings are taking shape in different ways. And I do feel like this is also a time of maybe new beginnings, new healings. You know, with the Five of Cups reversed, it's a very healing time because you might be going through a period of grieving or, feeling loss or mourning what was with this person. You may not be on speaking terms with this person. I feel like you just don't trust your heart right now, and you don't really trust them. And there's just some kind of rift happening emotionally. Like, you can't deny the intense attraction you have with this person, but I do feel like there's some wariness, right? Like, you don't want to fully give yourself to this person because, you know where that leads. You don't want a broken heart. So who could blame you, right? All right, so we have the Strength card, the Two of Cups. Ooh, the Nine of Wands. Wow. Okay. I can definitely see this being that intense, passionate, powerful relationship. I feel like the Strength card definitely confirms that for me. There's a sense of needing to expand, like it's like never-ending amount of love and fire and passion. I feel a lot of vulnerability happening between the two of you in ways that is almost uncomfortable because you're not used to opening your heart like this to someone. And they certainly aren't either. I feel like they're not the kind of person that tends to get really sappy and romantic with people. They tend to keep it like more surface level, maybe. Maybe they just tend to have like a sexual dynamic with someone instead of like a very intense, empathetic, compassionate, romantic dynamic. Because with the Two of Cups here, this shows this person really wants to commit to you. They see you as their other half. They see you as their partner. I actually feel like with the Nine of Wands here, it's like this person was on the verge maybe of proposing to you or contemplating it. I could see them thinking about the future, the next step with you. It's almost like their feelings are so like intense that they're not really sure what to do with themselves. But because there's been this fear, I feel like there's this anxiety going on that may be stopping you. I just feel like this person has so much love and this fierce desire to protect you. I feel like there's so much desire to like have you in their life, but it's almost like so much that how do I contain it? How do I even control any of it? And of course you can't control love. Like love is love. You can't make it, you know, put it in a box or anything. I feel like you have what it takes to go the distance. If you would really put in the effort, you would have everything you wanted with this person and more. I just feel like there's something stopping you, and I'm curious to know what that is. So let's keep looking. I want to elaborate on the Strength card. Okay, the Knight of Cups. Okay, so I'm also seeing like love goggles or being lovesick. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Swords. So I feel like, yes, this is a time of immense change. There's a lot shifting for both of you. And it's like this person really wants to have you in their life, and they want to be there for you while you're going through this change. I feel like they know you're going through changes, like they know you're going through stuff right now, and they want to be your support. They want to be by your side. They're on your team, you know, and I feel like they're supporting you and almost cheering you on through these changes, through these shifts. I also feel like there's a lot of things in their life that are out of their control, and they are letting it impact their actions towards you a lot. Let me move this up. Okay. Oh yeah. So with the Knight of Cups here, I also feel like this person loves how emotionally in tune you are. I feel like you're very empathetic, and you're able to provide something for them that they didn't really have before. And I guess there's also this charming quality. There's a very flirtatious kind of quality to your love. There's something deeper here, but at the surface, like, it's very teasing, very playful, very charming. I just feel like they're used to getting their way in love or with people. They're used to getting their way with people. And I just feel like this is the time for them to really be open with you and like open up to you. There's a lot of needing to speak things that they've never said before to anyone. I feel like there's this amount of vulnerability, this raw emotion coming through. And you're just like, what do I do with it? And what I also see with the King of Swords here is they feel this need to protect you from someone in the past. I feel like there's some trauma coming through. Maybe you've had an abusive ex or somebody that was toxic, or there's somebody in your life that isn't fully gone yet. And this person gave you a really hard time. I feel like there's a sense of needing to be protective, but to the point where they might take it a little too far. That's what I'm getting. And I wonder if with the King of Swords, I wonder if this could also bring out some childhood memories with them. I feel like they grew up maybe in a toxic environment, or somebody was not like as forthcoming with them emotionally. So I feel like it's something that was kind of passed down to them. And now that they have to be emotional, now that they have all these feelings, I just feel like they don't know what to do with them. You know? I think you are in for a real treat if you're able to make this work. Like, this person wants to be by your side. But I also feel like there's this period of healing, this period of grieving. You're kind of wondering, should I do this? Should I be with this person? I don't even know if it's about making a decision at this point. It's more like, can you salvage it? Should you chase after them? But overall, I'm sensing some very intense, strong attraction, powerful emotions. I feel like they could, you know, be your future spouse, but you also have to be able to let them in. And what I'm also getting is that these intense shifts that you're going through, these intense changes, these are things that not a lot of people would want to stick through, you know? They're the kind of shifts that tell you who in your life is worth being your friends, or who in your life is really your support system. Because when you're going through things that are really difficult, that's when people's true colors come out. And you can finally see them for who they are and whether they are actually your friend or not. And I feel like this person really wants to be there for you. I think it's also very important for you to realize that this is going to take work. There's a lot of just emotions, and you can't carry a full relationship off of emotions. So let me look a little further at what I see with the oracle cards here. As I mentioned in the beginning, I have already shuffled all the oracle cards, so you don't have to worry about that. I shuffle them in between each reading. Save some time. Okay, just being near you is intoxicating. I love that. This person really is interested in you, but I feel like to the point where they can't get you off their mind. It's almost like it's so much that it's like they don't even know if it's real either, because it's like, how can this be real? You know, sometimes we're so infatuated with someone, or we have a crush on someone, and we're like, is this real? Like, could we actually be in a relationship, or is this just my emotions or, you know, hormones? What is it? And I just feel like this person is also kind of confused about where they stand with you, because they're like, if I like this person this much and I've never had this before, this is scary. Like, it's making me feel things and I do not know how to do it. I do not know how to do this. Like, this is my first time doing this is what I'm getting. So it's very hard, because it can feel like they're playing games with you. It might feel like things are really dramatic when they don't need to be. It's just like a lot, you know? I'm going to move all this to the side so we have room for more oracle cards. But I just am getting that this person, they know that they have this effect on you. And I just feel like this person knows that they have met their match in you. And the question is now not how they feel about you. I think the question should be more like how you feel about them. Because I feel like this is very clear to me. Like, you can't really judge them based off of the way you've been judging them. Okay, let's pull another card. Trying to make sure it's all on the camera, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I'll have to fix that later. Okay, the flower. Be honest with yourself. Wow. This kind of goes back to what I was saying, that you have to be able to really get real with what you're feeling, instead of just focusing on what they're feeling. Because now that you know this, are you ready to commit to this? Like, are you ready to be this person for them? Because I feel like when you say yes to them, when you commit to them, this is serious. It becomes serious, and you have to be real with yourself. Like, is this actually what you want? Is this person actually, do you match these feelings of intensity? Or is it just longing? Is it just feeling lonely? Like, evaluate your life and look at, you have to be clear about where things are going for you. And also, you do have these intense shifts in their life. And just because they want to be in your life while you're going through them, doesn't mean that they should be. So I think that's something you really need to look into for yourself, because there's no question that this person is into you. You know, there's no question that there's an attraction, that there's this like passion and fieriness. I also feel like the people that are the haters in this dynamic come from outside. Like, I don't feel like they're you both. There's so much love here, but you don't want to put a name on it. You don't want to define it. It's interesting. Okay, I'm going to draw one more. Okay, expanded awareness, the Amanita. So I do think this is a time for taking a step back and really taking yourself out of the situation and really looking at it from a bird's eye view. I feel like there's a spiritual energy that you haven't really considered. You're very focused on the present, on the physical reality of your life and how this is manifesting, but I feel like you need to look at the spiritual bond that you both share and also just like open your eyes. I feel like you've been very focused on one thing, or you've been very focused on one scenario, but you need to be able to think outside the box and really like take this to a new level. Is this something you can see? Because I do feel like when the Amanita comes up, it often indicates red flags. It indicates overlooked things that you may not have been seeing, that you're like, wait, is this a red flag? Is this actually healthy? I think it's really important for you to really look at that, because there are signs going on that this may not be realistic, but it doesn't mean that it can't work. But you can't be in this kind of shapeshifter energy of just like playing games or kind of not committing, you know. It just needs to be able to be more sturdy, be more stable, be more solid. If you don't have that foundation, then it is just someone leading you on, right? So take the time to really expand your awareness, be honest with yourself, and know that this person is crazy about you. You know, so let's see what we can find with the dice. All right, so we have Uranus, we have the 6th house, and we have Virgo. So Virgo is ruler of the 6th house. So I would definitely say Virgo energy is here. We have that kind of meticulous energy of somebody who is really like analyzing the situation and maybe overthinking a little bit. I feel like thinking outside the box, this is the perfect time to do that with the Uranus energy. And the 6th house also has to do with health and career, but to the point, but it's like the little details. And I feel like this person could be someone at work, or it could feel like you're trying to mix business with pleasure a little bit and you're having trouble finding that balance. I would be wary of that. And I think it's really important for you to be more innovative with like how you go about your self-love and your rituals and your routines. I feel like creating healthy routines with this person is crucial, because you have to be able to sort out all these emotions. And then we have Uranus, which is also Aquarius. So Virgo and Aquarius are the main signs here. This person could be a Virgo. Aquarius could be their sun, moon, or rising sign, or they could just have a lot of it in their chart. And I'm going to pull a rune here. Just one this time. Okay, so this really brings me to the Wheel of Fortune. This is a rune of transformation and of letting go of the things that aren't really helping you. You know, how much of this is serving you? This is a time of really letting go of that and saying goodbye to that and starting fresh. And I think that also comes down to this idea of death, of endings, of things endings and new beginnings coming to fruition, life cycles. You know, things are cyclical here. I feel like you have a very strong sense of justice, and there's a lot you won't put up with, but for some reason you've let things slide with this person a lot. And I feel like there is a lot of like soulmate energy going on, so it's something you both need to look at. You need to use each other as the mirrors that you are to each other and really look at what's going on more in depth. What you do about this situation is up to you, but yeah. I hope that this was enlightening to you. Thank you so much for stopping by group number 1. Make sure to book a reading with me if you want to go deeper into your own relationship. I have personal readings on my website, zoethepsychic.com. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know if you agreed with this reading, what you thought. I would love to know in the comments section below. It means the world to me that you are here. I'm rooting for you. Bye. Welcome, group number 2. Today we're going to talk about how they're feeling about you. I'm super excited. We're going to first look at the situation, the vibe, the energy that I'm getting, and then I want to talk about more in depth how they're feeling about you. And then I'm going to talk about some guidance from the universe or from spirit that might help you in this journey and might help you in the situation. So stay tuned for that. Remember, this is about love interests, not necessarily platonic relationships. The Elephant and the Lover. Ooh, wow, this is a very powerful romantic situation. I feel a strong connection coming through. And with the Elephant, this is such like a grandiose kind of feeling, like a grand love, you know? I feel like there's a spark that's turning into a flame, that's turning into a wildfire, because there is not a lot that could extinguish it. You know, I feel like this comes down to how well you can just overcome whatever comes your way together. And when the Elephant appears in a reading, it often indicates like something is creating obstacles for you. It's almost like to test your love, to test your relationship. So whatever you're going through is likely a test of whatever you're experiencing. Like it's a test of love. So I also feel like this comes down to trust. There's a need to be trusting with each other. And I'm getting the sense that this isn't fully the case. There isn't necessarily, I feel like something's going on with trust. So let's see what that is about. I'm interested. The Lover is really about devotion, connection. It's not really about the destination, right? We're not really focused on our happily ever after here. We're focused on being in the moment, exploring our desires, our feelings, our emotions. So I feel like that's kind of where you're at. You might be in the honeymoon phase still, or you might just be really in love with someone. But I feel like we should see with the tarot cards here. Such a cool combination. I love elephants. I have mad respect for elephants. They are such beautiful spiritual beings. I feel like your connection is likely very spiritual. There's so much more to it than meets the eye. Like, I'm really curious to see what happens here. Okay. So, the King of Cups. Oh, so this adds an extra layer of tension because there's a lot of emotional instability going on. I feel like this person, they love you, but I also feel like there's a lot of like unhingedness going on. Maybe they feel like they can't fully control how they're feeling. They might kind of feel like they have to be selfish when it comes to you. Interesting. I'm hearing the word selfish over and over and over again. So I wonder what that means. And that's not always saying like, oh, this person's going to like be possessive or, you know, selfish or, but it just feels like there's this need for you, this desire for you. With the King of Cups, you know, there's just this strong feeling of like, I need you. I need you to feel something. I need this. Interesting. Okay, we have the Devil. I'm going to move these up here. Oh, yeah. So maybe some obsessiveness going on. Let's see. Interesting. Ooh, interesting. Okay. With the Devil, I feel like this is there could be some codependency going on, but what I'm actually sensing more is just this deep obsession, this lust, this feeling of like wanting more, wanting too much, you know? It's almost like they want so much from you, but they don't want it seem like they're crossing a line or like they're acting selfish. I feel like there's a strong need for you, like this like throbbing desire. I said throbbing desire for you. I feel like you know, there's this very, it's almost like they can't control their lust for you. Like they're thinking about you. They're probably like very turned on by you. And I do feel like there's a lot that seems very untouchable to them about you. Maybe you withhold a little bit from them. Maybe you're more secretive or less talkative. I feel like there's something very mysterious about you. You're very alluring. And there's something where it's like they want you, but they can't fully have you the way they want. And I feel like they have tried in the past, because I'm seeing a very strong attachment to the past here with the Six of Swords reversed. I feel like they're kind of stuck in the past in a way. And it feels like they're still focused on the past of like when they made a mistake with you. I feel like there's a third party here. Perhaps they were flirtatious with someone else, or they weren't forthcoming. But this happened in the past. And I feel like they're holding on to this. It's almost like they're holding on to regret or nostalgia. It feels like they're holding on to something that is over now. And it's like you supposedly have moved on, but I feel like it's affected your trust. So that's interesting. With the King of Wands, it looks like you have a lot more control in this relationship, and they like how confident you are. They find it very sexy. They like it when you take the lead. They like that you are someone who calls the shots and isn't afraid to say what's what. I feel like you have a very fiery and really beautiful, sexy, attractive personality, and they are really into it. They really like it. I feel like they know you're one of a kind. Like they're drawn to your energy. They're very attracted to you physically as well. I'm getting a strong physical attraction. But I do feel like there's this love triangle. And I'm getting that it's probably in the past. This may resonate with you now. Like maybe you're having some trust issues because you're afraid this person is talking to someone else. But I just feel like a lot of this has to do with past mistakes, the past relationship, and they're holding on to it. And I feel like things that happen in the past are somehow resurfacing for them. I also feel like they really like how intellectual you are. They have the ability to talk to you. You can just talk, and I feel like they really appreciate your conversations. They like talking to you. It's just a really interesting person. Like I feel like you're very stimulating to them. They're never bored around you. You keep them, you know, it makes them feel like they have to be quick on their feet. I just feel like you throw things at them that excites them and keeps them guessing. And I think that is something that's really intriguing, despite knowing you. And if you're not with this person and this person is a crush, just know that this is like a very powerful time. Although I'm getting for most of you, this is someone you're with or someone you are romantically involved with in one way or another. There is just such a deep connection, but the problem is that it hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows with this person. And I feel like they're holding on to that. They're holding on to the secrets. You know, there's something they're holding on to that they're not telling you. I feel like they're always thinking about you. Like they can't stop thinking about you. And I do feel like a hedonistic desires. Like I feel like they want to be with you in more of a sexual way. Maybe they're pressuring you a little bit, or maybe you feel some pressure about that. Interesting. I'm just sensing some pressure. I know that I crossed a line with you. I also just want to mention real quick, I mentioned it before, but I have already shuffled all the oracle decks to go quicker because I use multiple oracle decks. So I know that I crossed the line with you. Wow. I'm getting that strong energy of the past here. Like this person may have broken your trust, and I feel like you're like the effects of that never fully went away, or it's still lingering. And I just feel like the more it's brought up, the more you're thinking about it too. Like the more you're contemplating it, you know? Villain, you can always rewrite the story. Wow. Oh my God. So I do feel like this is a powerful message because there may have been times when you're really questioning your relationship and you're questioning whether you should be in it or whether you should be doing what you're doing with them. Because I feel like there's strong need to kind of follow. You don't want to be seen as the bad guy. And I feel like you might face judgment for something that you didn't do. That's what I'm getting. I also feel like this is just, you know, you have to understand what your motive is in this. You have to understand what your purpose is in this situation. Like, what is the role you want to play? Because I feel like there's a lot of people trying to tell you what your love life should be. And for some reason, like you feel like you have to conform to that. And for some of you, it just feels like it's really up to you to kind of take control, take the lead, and really kind of write your own love story with this person as opposed to trying to like be someone for them in their story. I hope that makes sense. But the villain is an interesting card because I just feel like it's not ideal, but it also shows you that, hey, maybe you're not the good guy here. Maybe there are no villains or heroes. Maybe this is just meant to be and you can be the hero in your own story. I mean, for every villain in their story, they're the good guy, right? So I think it's really important to look at your relationship this way, and instead of pointing fingers or feeling like some shame or blame, I think it's really important for you to decide, okay, what story am I going to spin? Who am I going to be in this relationship? Really do that reflection. Okay, we have the blue pink gill. I love that. The blue pink gill is all about rarity and being unique. And I just feel like what you have is really special. It's not something you're going to find elsewhere. You know, maybe you can, yeah, there are plenty of fish in the sea, right? But this is something that is one of a kind. And I feel like you need to take that into account when you make a decision about whether you want to be with this person or not in the future, because you need to know that what you have is really special and you're not going to have something like this again, most likely. Could you have something else that's more beautiful and interesting? Sure, in its own way. But this is special. I feel like what you have is so deep and powerful. And the majority of what these cards are telling me is that you really need to trust each other. Because this is a test. This is a test on what you have. This is a test on your dynamic, on your relationship. And you're going to be okay. I'm also going to pick a rune. Okay. L has reverse. So this is all about lacking support. And I wonder why you don't feel like your love is protected. Why you don't feel like your love is protected. I feel like this all comes down to trust and being willing to really rely on each other and support each other. I think that, you know, with this protection rune reversed, it's like there's a lot of vulnerability going on and a lot of need to step up to the plate and really be that support system and support each other. I feel like a lot of different energies trying to come at you at once. Ooh. Okay, we have Jupiter, the 7th house, and Cancer. Ooh, okay. Well, Jupiter in the 7th house, this is a very good thing for your love life. You know, I feel like there's a lot of abundance coming through when it comes to your relationships and partnerships. This is just like such a beautiful time for you, but it's about getting these feelings under control and trying to figure out how you can just kind of forgive each other and move on, like change the story. I feel like you guys have so much more power than you even realize. And you also need to acknowledge your own power, you know, because they see it. They see your power. There is just so much fire and sass going on. You're very sassy. It's very fun. I feel like you're a very fun person and they can tell. But you can't let the past cloud that, you know? So what is it that you want to say, you know? So as far as zodiac signs goes, this is Cancer, there's Libra, and also Sagittarius. So Cancer, Libra, and Sagittarius. Lots of optimism, lots of looking forward, and lots of just caring about each other, keeping each other safe. You know, feeling like you don't have to mother each other. You might also be feeling like one of you is putting a little more work into the relationship or cares more, and that is not the case, but it might feel like that. So I think you guys need to really come to some kind of agreement or like compromise with where you stand. I don't know if you heard that, but my phone just went off and I feel like that was a really powerful moment. Ah, it's doing it again. Confirmation. Yeah, I just feel like this is just true. I mean, you're just saying this is the same thing over and over again. And understand that this is not the end. This is a test. So I love this. Beautiful. Remember to subscribe to my channel and comment below. Let me know what you think. I want to know if you agreed with this, where you stand, what's your story. And please feel free to book a reading with me on my website, zoethepsychic.com. I have a variety of options, including astrology and tarot and rune and tea leaf reading. So check that out. Have a great day, you know? Have a fabulous day. I wish you both the best. Bye. Welcome, group number 3. Today we're going to talk about how they feel about you. So we're going to start with looking at the overall energy in this situation. What is the vibe? What is going on? And then I want to go into the different feelings that this person might have or how they're seeing you, what's on their mind. And then I also want to get into some advice on how you can proceed with the situation and how you can move forward. Just messages from the universe that might help you. So we're going to start with the hummingbird. Ooh. And the father. Wow. So I feel like this energy clashes because the father is such a strong, masculine, supportive figure. And I just feel like with the hummingbird, we have this like buzzing energy. So this could be kind of like a grumpy sunshine relationship. I don't know if you guys read a lot of romance novels, but there's a trope in it that reminds me of you, where there's someone who's very kind of grumpy, grounded, stubborn, doesn't really want to see the bright side, and then they have someone swoop in and really light things up for them, you know, really brighten them, someone who's really optimistic, and really just makes everything lighter for them and easier. And it can be a really beautiful dynamic. But I also feel like with this father figure, there is a sense of absence. And I feel like this person may be emotionally unavailable for you. Maybe they are more focused on duty and responsibility, and you don't really know where they stand in their heart, like internally. This could also mean that you just feel like you have to kind of go around this person and figure out what things mean to you and how things work for you. I feel like the energy here is very constant, but it's like start and stop at the same time. Like it's always there, but it's like the faucet of love just turns on and off, on and off. So the amount you get varies, and I just feel like for you, you're trying to get every kernel of love you can from this person, even though they might not be as forthcoming with it and as open with it. And the thing is, there's a lot here that is beyond love. Like, I feel like this could be more of a family unit. Like maybe you guys have children together. This could be that you are raising children together. And I feel like that changes things, you know? There's also this vitality aspect to it. I feel like health comes into play, and vitality and youth. And I feel like there's maybe a maturity difference between the two of you. Maybe one of you is more mature than the other. So I'm curious to see where this goes, but let's start with some tarot cards. Okay. The High Priestess, the Queen of Pentacles, Justice, and the Eight of Wands. Okay. Well, with the High Priestess, I feel like intimacy is a huge theme here. You know, there's a difference between being with someone in a committed, loving relationship and being really intimate and exploring them. And I feel like that is an issue for you here. There may be an emphasis on needing to really connect with them on a really deep level. How can you transcend what you already have with this person? I also feel like there's a lot of self-love happening. Like there's this need to love yourself because the other person may not be giving you everything that you need, and you know you can't fully rely on them in some aspects. So you might be, you know, pleasuring yourself as opposed to pleasuring with each other, you know? I feel like there's a lot of mysterious energy coming on. Like it's almost like a mystical quality to your relationship. I feel like this person is playing out dynamics because of trauma. So this could be like they have daddy issues, you know? I also feel like they want to be a provider. They want to be there, but for some reason, something is blocking them from moving forward. And with the Queen of Pentacles, they see you as someone who's so perfect. You know, I feel like they have a trouble finding your flaws. They have trouble finding anything wrong with you because they see you as someone extremely nurturing, extremely together. It's almost like you're too perfect. I feel like they are very drawn to your beauty. You have a natural beauty and grace to you. This could also be just being handsome. It doesn't have to be like, you know, gender is not involved in this. So I feel like there is just so much grace and patience that you have, and you're such a hard worker. I feel like they admire you so much, and they see you as someone who could be the mother of their children or the father of their children. And there's a sense of needing that their other half, and I feel like they see you as husband material or wife material. Like if you're not married, they see you, the potential in you, and I feel like they just want to be someone that measures up to you. I think there's a lot of like this nurturing energy of like, wow, this person is so great. How can I be who I need to be for them? But I do feel with the justice that there are consequences happening, playing out to things that have occurred or just the things that they're saying. So I feel like karma is really coming into play. And I feel like this person knows that you're not going to make the first move when it comes to trying to shake things up or rocking the boat. I feel like you're trying to balance so much in your life and they can tell. And with justice, it's also like, how can I do the right thing for this person? Because I'm getting that this could go deeper than just love. I feel like maybe they want to get married because they are the, the father of your child, right? Like maybe there's a sense of responsibility there. It doesn't feel like a very like powerful romantic love. It feels more like a calm, mature love, one that relies on values and duties and practicality. And it's like it's like your ideal marriage love. Does that make sense? It's not this wild roller coaster of intense emotions. It feels more like they see you as their person in the long term. I feel like long-term energy is coming through. But I do feel like that with the 8 of Wands, this has a lot to do with maybe feeling like they have to rush things in order to keep up with you, in order to be on the same page. That hummingbird energy is so intense and it's so vibrant, and like, how can they keep up with you? How can they keep that going? I feel like you can sometimes, even though you might appear to be this like perfect person, I feel like you can be rash in your decisions. You can be short-tempered, but I also feel like that makes you somewhat impulsive at times, and they want to like be around you, but you keep surprising them. Let's see what else. Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Trying to make sure this all fits. Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles. And we have the Fool reversed. Well, this definitely adds some clarity. So some of you may be moving in with this person, or maybe you live with them, but I feel like there's a new step here, a new chapter. This could be like buying a home together, or wanting to, get closer to them, wanting to share with them more. I feel like this is a major step for you. A lot of you might be moving together. You might be, looking for a new place to live, or I feel like there's a lot of also sugar daddy energy where they want to provide for you. They want to help you. And there's a lot of long-term planning for the future, not just the present, the now. A lot of this is very focused on how can we be smart about this? How can we be smart for the future? But I also feel like they think you've made a mistake with them. I'm seeing some kind of complex. Things aren't as simple as they seem. I feel like you're kind of reeling from this, actually. There seems to be like maybe you got into this without meaning to for some reason. I feel like they think that you're not serious about them as much, even though they see you as potential material, like wife material or husband material. It's almost like you're dealing with this uncertainty from them because of your own hesitations. Like you may have hesitated when saying I love you, or maybe you just didn't act at the same time. And I feel like you missed a crucial moment of being able to trust each other. It's almost like you were able to be with each other, but the timing was off, or it felt like you were trying to commit to them, but at the same time there was like a lack of commitment there. It felt like there's a lack of being ready. This might have been they knocked you up and you kind of had to just deal with the consequences, and maybe they feel like they didn't fully get you to themselves. They didn't fully win you over, or you didn't have this kind of traditional courting. I'm curious to see how this goes with you, because it feels like you're planning for the future, yet for some reason there's this emphasis on acting too soon, on making a mistake, on taking a risk that maybe didn't pay off. I feel like this is a very interesting energy. I feel like there's also maybe a lack of maturity really coming through. They might feel like you're not ready for them, or you're not ready for the situation. It's interesting. It's interesting how it's so contradictive, right? Because I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles, there is this very strong, like, I see you as the perfect person for me, but then it's almost like, but you're too young, or you're too, I think there could be an age gap for a lot of you as well. So it's like you're too young, or you're not ready for this, or, you know, I don't know if I should take it seriously, that kind of thing. Because I do feel like you're your own entity. You have so much energy, and I feel like they're not really sure what to do with all of it. And I don't think that they're very comfortable with their own emotions. So it's hard for them to be emotionally available around you. Especially with you, who are someone who's so, you know, active and proactive in loving them and in your life in general. So as I explained in the beginning, I have shuffled every oracle deck beforehand so that we can save some time. If not, it's just a lot of shuffling. I know I was a distraction from your pain. Okay. So this comes down to this mistake I'm seeing. I feel like they might have thought you weren't serious about them. Like I said, there's this feeling of like, you're not ready for me, or you're, you know, you belong with me, but you're not ready yet. It's interesting because it's more like on their end, this is an insecurity of theirs I'm seeing. I feel like they don't think that they deserve you, or they don't think that you chose them. It's almost like you didn't choose to be with each other. So I wonder where that could be coming from. But I feel like this is very frustrating, you know? Protest. So this is important because they're saying this about you, but that doesn't mean it's true, you know? I feel like you know that what they're saying isn't true, but nothing you're saying is convincing them. I feel like you need to speak up. You need to speak out. You need to be an advocate for yourself, because you're in a situation where you have to really own your own individuality and who you are and the choices that you make, and stand behind them. Stand true to them. This person doesn't get to tell you what they are to you. Only you can do that, right? Like, you know your own feelings. You don't need this person to tell you that. So they might be wallowing, or thinking you're not ready, or thinking that, you know, you don't really know what you want, but that is BS. They're not your father, you know, despite the card saying father. They're not your father. They are the person that is supposed to love you and support you, but not have these assumptions about you. And I just feel like you need to learn to be your own advocate here and really speak up. You can't let this person decide for you how you're feeling and what's going on the inside. Isolation. The parrot wax cap. I feel like this card is coming up because you have been letting this person really tell you how you're feeling and tell you all this stuff, but it's important for you to take time to yourself. I feel really own your inner high priestess, because you're not able to really listen to your own needs, your own heart, when you're surrounded by them. I feel like there's a lot that you have taken on, and you're taking on a lot of their energy, and your life is kind of revolving around them. You need to really take some time to yourself. Take a second. Ask yourself, what is it that I need? What is it that I really want? Am I okay with this? How much am I willing to just let this person do or not do? I think it's really important for you to take some alone time here. That doesn't mean you have to break up with them, but I think it's about really understanding where you stand and really like being able to be like, no, I do care about you. I did choose to be here. I wouldn't be here if I didn't want to be. And I think it's also scary a lot of the time when there's like a big age gap in a relationship, where one person is like 10 years younger, they get married in their 20s to somebody way older, and then they grow and they realize, wow, what have I gotten myself into? And they don't really know how to advocate for themselves, or they're kind of stuck in a situation where they signed on to something, but then they don't really know what to make of it or how to go about it. And I think this person knows how smart you are, and they know how capable you are, and that's why they have really decided to put a lot of faith in you and trust in you. But you also need to be the one to say, like, no, I'm not going to live like this anymore if I don't want to, or I'm not going to let you tell me how I'm feeling, or I'm not going to let you take away love, or this is something I really love to do. I want to do this more. Like, you have to really step up, because this person knows that you're capable of that. They just feel like there's a sense of like for some reason they feel like you're not ready, or you're not like supposed to be with them. And I just feel like they need to get over it. But take time to yourself before making any decisions. This person is a powerful voice, and they're a guiding force for you. I feel like they've probably helped you through stuff. They've supported you, but they do feel like they have a say over you sometimes. And that is something I would be wary of. So get that under control. Okay. Yara. So Yara is the rune of cycles, of reaping the rewards. And I love how we have justice here, because I feel like this is the time for you to just like be who you're meant to be. I feel like this is the time where you might want to start a family. I also feel like this person really likes that their parents like you. Maybe they've introduced you to their family, and I just feel like they got the A-okay from their family. Or if this is a person that is newer in your life and you haven't met their folks yet, I feel like they want to take you to meet their parents. You know, there's just this major step that you're moving forward, and you're involving more people in your dynamic than before. And I just feel like there's also these patterns that are playing out with Yara. You know, things are cyclical, and there's a lot that is beginning in your life, but there are a lot of things that have been playing out for a while, and they're coming up in your love life. And I think that this is such a beautiful moment for you to really reevaluate who you are without this person, but also how you can be, you know, there for them in the way they need. There's just so many questions. I feel like they know that you haven't had the easiest life, and I think that they really want to create this safe space for you. But I also feel like, you know, even people who come across as super mature can be so immature at times, and that's what I'm getting here. I just feel like there's like some kind of immaturity clashing. It's interesting. Ooh, okay. So we have Pluto, we have the 10th house, and we have Virgo. So that's Virgo, Capricorn, and also Scorpio. So Virgo, Capricorn, and Scorpio are coming through here. This could be sun, moon, or rising signs. And yeah, this is a very transformational moment. It might feel like there are a lot of extreme situations going on at once. With the 10 here, there's a lot of mention of career. I feel like a lot of this has to do with being professional for some reason. Maybe this is someone you've known from work but I just feel like they're helping you on your career path as well. I feel like there's a sense of like, I can rely on this person to be my support on my career path, which is really exciting. I'm seeing like a lot of different changes, a lot of different details coming up that weren't there before. But yeah, so Virgo, Capricorn, or Scorpio, sun, moon, rising signs, you name it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please comment below and let me know if you agreed with this. How did it work out for you? Do you think that it's accurate? I would love to know. And make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a reading with me, you're welcome to visit my website, zoethepsychic.com. I offer a variety of different options for readings, so check those out. The links are also in the description box below. Have a wonderful day and good luck. Welcome group number 4. Today we're going to talk about how they're feeling about you. We're going to go into your situation with these oracle cards, and then I want to go into, how they're feeling about you, what they're thinking, what is on their mind emotionally and mentally and spiritually, like how they're doing. And I also want to talk about any guidance that the universe has for you on how to move forward with the situation. So let's get started. Remember, this is in regards to a love match. This isn't about platonic relationships or family bonds. This is most likely somebody that you have chemistry in a romantic way with, or, that you have a romantic interest in. Okay, the dragonfly and the venom. So I'm going to put these up here. All right. This is automatically giving me a very heavy energy. There is so much density, and it's really hard for you to think clearly. With the dragonfly, we have this like third eye energy. It's like your intuition is being clouded. You're not really able to trust your own instincts around this person, because I feel like there is just so much that is unhealthy, and you're having a difficulty kind of sorting through it all. I feel like there's a lot of toxic energy. So a lot of like heavy energy. There could be some gaslighting I'm hearing for some of you. For a lot of you, it could just seem like everything's fine, but you're finally realizing that it's not. But overall, I'm getting like a very muddy kind of sensation coming through. It's like, it's hard to explain, okay, because it's like a sensation, but I just feel like when it comes to this relationship, it's really hard for you to trust yourself, because your mental health is like at risk. I feel like your intuition and your ability to like think clearly and rationally in the situation is really difficult. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of negative coming up. Doesn't mean that it's all bad, okay? I know this can look bad, but this is a situation that is intense, but there is definitely good here. And I'm getting a lot of just uncertainty because you're not really able to think clearly. So it's not really about the negative, but we'll see what we get here. I'm going to start with some oracle cards. The dragonfly is just a really spiritual ally to us. You know, I feel like whenever you get this card, it's really about reflecting and really gaining clarity in the moment. And with venom, it's going to be about figuring out what has poisoned your mind. You know, there is poison here. I'm getting Britney Spears toxic in my mind. Taste of your lips. I'm on a ride. Don't ask me to start singing it because I won't stop if I start, and I'm really bad at singing it. So, but yeah, so I feel like this is going to be an interesting situation because it's like, how is your mind muddled? How is this happening when it comes to your relationship, you know? Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. So when the Ace of Swords comes up, you know, it's all about cutting away what doesn't work for you. There's going to be a lot of important discussions that need to be had in an intellectual way, like a mature way. You need to have mature conversations. I feel like communication is a huge topic of interest here. Communication needs to be worked on. And I feel like you need to be able to have discussions where you gain a lot of clarity and control over your relationship and over your situation. There is kind of an old soul sentiment. Maybe it's not an old soul, but it's more like an old married couple almost. Like people might even compare you to that because you have fallen into this routine where it's not necessarily about the spark anymore. I feel like it's more about needing to talk things out and be mature, and there's a lot of like unhealthy behaviors going on in your dynamic. Interesting. This could also just be like a toxic ex who got in your head and you're trying to sort out the truth. You know, there are multiple interpretations coming through, so bear that in mind. But as long as you understand the main energies of this card combination, it'll be fine. Okay, we have Temperance. Interesting. Hierophant. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Making sure I can get it all on camera. Okay, the Three of Wands. Whoops, Judgment. And the Sun. Look at all this major arcana energy. These are really impactful times for you. Wow. This discussion that needs to be had is going to be very important. It will make or break your relationship. I feel like if you have been having trouble talking, this is the time to clear the air. This is the time to really, you know, break through to each other because there's so much here. I'm getting that you guys could be married or in a committed relationship. This could be like you've been together for a while and you're kind of like, where is this going now? I feel like the intention behind your relationship is a little warped. What I mean by that is there seems to be a very strong emphasis on what other people think. Whether that's if you're religious and you get married because you're supposed to in your religion. This is just an example. Or it could be that you really care what your friends and family think and you want to be married because of that. So I feel like this whole idea of the opinions of other people really impacting the decisions you make in your relationship. Like you really care about appearing put together or appearing like you have it together. And I think that's a really difficult thing because suddenly it's not just about your relationship together. It's about your, like other people's voices need to be heard. And that's not the case. It is just about you two. So with Temperance, I feel like this is a really important indicator that this person feels like you balance them out. I mean, there is a strong sense of balance. I feel like without each other, things have gotten pretty extreme in your life. And somehow you are able to help them out and help balance them out. Like they feel like you maybe are not an arbitrator. What's the word? Where you have this ability to kind of help even out their moods. I feel like you're like Prozac or something, or whatever mood stabilizer for them. Because I feel like you have the ability to just know what to say or how to act, and you kind of keep them together. And I feel like they are really grateful to you for that. But also, they might feel slightly trapped. They might feel like they have to conform in order to be with you, when they might have aspirations of like traveling or doing more exciting things. And I feel like you guys have gotten into this rut of trying to be like the perfect couple or the perfect relationship. There's a sense of needing to follow these traditional types of roles in relationships. And I think you have to be really, really careful to maybe turn the focus more towards you and less on what other people are thinking, less on the external world or society or what you should be doing or, you know, how you appear. I feel like you guys have put a lot of effort into trying to make it work. There's a lot of like trying to make love grow, trying to make love blossom, but I feel like it's not blossoming, you know? It's almost like if it is, it's going extremely slowly, and it just feels like, almost like you both are trying, but it's not growing. It's like your garden isn't coming to fruition, right? But I feel like there's an optimism that you have that they really appreciate. Like you are very focused on the positive. I feel like you have this brightness, this radiance that they're really into. And with the sun, it's also the strong focus on being happy and maybe overlooking things that are negative. You know, I feel like you really want them to like you. You really want to be the perfect partner. Maybe it's the perfect wife or the perfect husband. Or I just feel like there's a sense of needing to be perfect, needing to shine, needing to make people see how great your relationship is, when really there's a lot underneath the surface that needs to be looked at and needs to be acknowledged. This is not easy because I feel like a lot of this comes down to acknowledging your expectations, your standards. You might need to lower your standards a little bit in order to make this work. And I also feel like you're finally able to see things from a different perspective. You know, I feel like you are able to kind of really take a step back and look at your relationship. How much of it are you doing because you want to do it? And how much of it is because you're following like the perfect steps? You know, there's a lot of expectations that we have in dating and in love and in commitment. How much of it was drilled into us by our families, our parents? How much were we conditioned to want to be in a partnership? I feel like you really need to look at how much of this energy you're giving to this person. And while you're doing it, like really ask yourself this, analyze this. I feel like this person has been thinking about your relationship a lot. They have a lot of thoughts and opinions, and they're always sharing them. And I get that this person knows how to push your buttons. I feel like they know how to get under your skin because they know you so well. But I also feel like you are not giving it a chance to an extent. Interesting. I already shuffled all the cards ahead of time, the oracle cards, so don't worry about that. I want to tell you how I feel. Okay, I feel like this person is definitely in a situation where things are new. There's sort of an awakening of feelings, but it seems like no matter how much effort they put in, no matter how much work they do, it's like nothing comes of it. Nothing grows, you know? And I feel like you are the missing piece to the puzzle, but you're not on the same page right now. And this person really does care about you. You know, I don't see this person, like I said, they see you as a balance for them, like the yin and the yang, you know? They see you as someone who is able to calm them, to make them feel good. I feel like they know you're not going to cross these lines that make them uncomfortable. You're safe. I'm getting you're safe. I also see that you might be very vanilla in their eyes. Like they're like, I don't necessarily want to push or try new things with them because I'm, you know, pretty sure that they would reject that, you know? I'm getting that you might be talking to family a lot about your relationship or other people, and maybe they don't like that. There's this communication situation that needs to be resolved, basically. Okay, we have expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. That's exactly right. I mean, you do not want anyone to tell you what to do about your relationship. And I'm just getting that this is like, the toxicity is really coming from your ideas about what love should be and what love should look like. And I do feel like they share a lot of very similar values with you. It's one of the things that they love about you, is that they really do share these similar values. Okay. So I feel like you're going to have to let your wild side come out a little bit more. And it's interesting because even if you've been together for a long time, it's almost like you still don't really know each other. And I think you can see this as an opportunity to get to know each other, to explore, or to see this as an opportunity to figure out what's next for you beyond them. But just know that I feel like their love isn't necessarily like this like spark of passion, right? But I do feel like they have deep care and respect for you in so many ways. I feel like they share a lot of values with you. And I feel like what you have is very traditional in a sense. So it's hard to defy their expectations. It's hard to, you know that they have these standards, these expectations, and no matter how much effort you both seem to be putting into it, it's like you can't get the result you want. And I feel like you definitely need to sit down and talk about this. You need to have this talk. You need to be able to cut away all the poison, cut away all the toxicity, because it's only making things more cloudy, you know, and hurting your judgment, hurting your ability to be together. But with this discovery, I feel like there's a lot of things that are about to come into the picture that you've never encountered before. And I think that you can either see this as something very exciting and new, or you can crumble in fear and try to resort to, you know, your rules that you've created or society's created for you. So this is something to think about. I'm going to pick another rune. Okay. So now these is about lack. I feel like there's a lot of things that you're missing. And it's about discovering what those things are and figuring out how to make the most of your situation. Because there's so much that is missing in your dynamic when it comes to like emotions and excitement and things. And I just feel like you need to figure this out. Okay, so we also have Leo. We have Uranus, and we have the 8th house. So that's Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio energy. Those are some pretty big energies when you think about it. I feel like with the 8th house, there's this need to discover, but it's also like exploring things on a spiritual level and really figuring out what is yours and what's theirs. Like not having to share everything. I feel some secrets coming up. Secrets are being uncovered. There's a lot of important discussions that must be had. And it's time to think outside the box, you know. And with this Leo energy, this could be their sun, moon, or rising. Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Sun, moon, or rising signs. It could also mean they just have a lot of that energy in their chart. But I do feel like this is something you guys need to really explore, you know? Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I am really excited to know what you think in the comment section below, so let me know. Also, you're welcome to book a reading with me on my website, zoethepsychic.com. I offer a lot of different options there for tarot readings and different types of readings, so make sure you check that out. And also, subscribe to my channel. Support this channel because it needs you. It needs your support. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. Good luck.